It's another beautiful day here in Middle Tennessee. Y'all, I love it out here. Whew. Right back here, over there is the cemetery. It's the largest privately owned Confederate cemetery in the United States. This was one of the bloodiest battles of the entire war between the states. Whew. Most of those boys over there are from Mississippi. That's where my daddy's family settled. The Blackwells, the Pittmans, and the Fortenberrys all traveled from Virginia through Kentucky, down through Tennessee and into Mississippi, and got caught up, some of them, in that particular conflict. I think one of them's buried over there at Oxford, one of the Pittmans. War's not a pretty thing, that's for sure. I don't wish it on anyone. You know, when the Ukraine thing's kicked off, I mean, it amazes me. And now the Israeli thing, the money, the printing, these big banks, big investments, shareholders, whatnot. It gets deep. Philosophy, religion, all of it. My acquaintance or friend, Gilad Asman, he's older than me. He's a jazz musician from, lives in London now, but he grew up in Israel. And he had an epiphany when they were locking up Palestinians in cages and treating them so poorly. He was like, well, hey, isn't this what the Nazis did to the Jews? He got disillusioned, moved to London, England, studied philosophy. And has been, up to the last few years, a Palestinian rights activist, I guess. He's written some good books. The Wandering Who, which is an excellent book. He's written a few others. With regards to Jewish identity politics, and again, what does it mean to be a Jew? What does it mean to be a Christian? What does it mean to be a Muslim when we all bleed red? You know, it's not the fault of the individual that their parents took them to temple or to synagogue or to church or to mass or to the mosque or whatever. It's how we're programmed as children, and whether or not we want to accept all of that for what it is. You know, I had a conversation with my friend Sonny that I grew up in church with. You know, we all hear the stories, we all learn the religion, I guess, so to speak, or whatnot. And, you know, in my journey, what I've tried to do is take the marrow or the tenets of any religion. And, of course, most law comes from religion and philosophy. We had this discussion on adultery and, you know, should women be stoned for adultery? Yada, 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 and how things evolve over the years and our way of seeing things and legislating things in our civil society. You know, so it gets deep. It gets really deep. And I don't know. Again, I'm with Roger Waters. I watched him this morning, and I believe in a one-state solution if we're going to have a state of Israel. The way I see it, again, a Bill of Rights, property rights, due process, you know, and if you go to whacking your neighbor because you don't like his religion, well, then go to jail or be hung or whatever. I mean, you know, that boy up in Pennsylvania that went into the synagogue and shot it up, I think he's going to get the death penalty. And rightfully so, in my humble opinion. Although I know friends and family that are against the death penalty. I'm not. I don't think. As long as the conviction is there. You know, the Saudis, you get convicted in one of their courts, they'll take you out in the public square and do it right there. So I don't know. It gets deep, yo. It gets deep. I wish they'd stop fighting because, again, it's like opening up a Pandora's box of just, it could turn into World War III. I mean, we already went through the war on terror. Did we cure terrorism? Did we win terrorism, or did we win that war? What is terror? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and there's a lot of truth to that. You know, the Confederates back here, this is the cemetery, were rebels. They rebelled, according to the Union, against the Union. But, you know, in my humble opinion, they had every right to leave the Union, just as you have a choice to join a union. So, I don't know. It gets interesting, to say the least. It gets, I don't know, it gets deep. It gets really deep. So, hopefully, cooler minds can prevail. I'm not real big on Trump and the Adelson relationship, but you know, Adelson has a right to give campaign campaign contributions or whatnot. Now, does the President of the United States return the favor by sending in U.S. troops to Trump? Our precious, our beautiful Israel. Again, what is Israel? It's a country. I guess, I don't even know. It's British Mandate Palestine. It's a colony of the British Crown, which we are as well. We continue to be through our banking system. It's definitely through our banking system, through our Federal Reserve. If you've noticed, all they do is sit around and print up money and send it where? Which causes the inflation, which decreases our standard of living, that's for sure. So, I know here where I live, everything's doubled. I've been here for 13 years? Everything's doubled. You know, we used to go to the Mexican restaurant for $30. Now it's 60. Yada, yada, yada. Of course, a lot of that has to do with the price of gas and shutting off pipelines. Oh, Joe Biden and his nature cult or whatever. I don't know. It gets interesting. We got the best democracy money can buy. Borrowed money can buy. I don't know how long that can last. Never give up your guns, and keep peace in your heart. Peace and justice, that's for sure. But hopefully this spat between Hamas and the Israelis can cool down, and maybe they can come to the table. I just, unreal. So, anyway, peace and love.